every second, every minute. Man, I swear that she can get it. Saying you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now. Put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark room perfume. Go, go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you, and you're in the mood for empathy. It's blood in my pen. Better yet, with your friends and them. I really wanna know you all. I really wanna show you off. Fuck God, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and y'all curled in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga, don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga, that ain't good game, homie. Sorry, they say conversation rule the nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S.
you go? Oh, you know how I've been living without you. Daydreaming on a cloud with you like the rising. With you tonight is on an island. Yeah. It's about time for making up. Times you wasn't with me waking up. Now you feel set up, you miss your touch. I needed to distance myself from you. I was just in love with you. So I confess, won't you? Can I tell you something for what it's worth? We've had it, lights on heaven. so quiet, but I hear you saying to me, baby. Say our time, we're making up time. The times you wasn't with me, waking up. Now you never said I couldn't miss your touch. I needed to distance myself from you. I was just alone with you. So come close, won't you? Won't you? Can I tell you something for what it is worth? We've had it, that's all that take you there. I'll take you. Show you something, give you more than words. We've had it, that's all that take you there. I'll take you. Show you something, give you more than words. We've had it, that's all that take you there. I'll take you there. Take you there, won't you? Fill me up till my cup's overflowing. I'm so anxious just to feel the silence. It's so quiet, but I hear you saying to me, baby. Say our time, we're making up time. The times you wasn't with me, waking up. Now you never said I couldn't miss your touch. I needed to distance myself from you. I was just alone with you. So come close, won't you? Won't you? Can I tell you something for what it is worth? We've had it, that's all that take you there. I'll take you. Show you something, give you more than words. We've had it, that's all that take you there. I'll take you there. Please be don't just be nothing to me. I want you to give to me, yeah. Please be don't just be nothing to me. I want you to give to me, yeah.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now, put me in the booth. I'm talking about dark room, perfume, go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know you taste this a little bit. High maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you when you're in the mood for empathy. There's blood in my pen. Better yet, for your friends and them. I really wanna know you all. I really wanna show you off. Fuck that, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and your girl in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga that ain't good game home is sorry. They say conversation rule a nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S. You can get it, you can get it, you can get it.
Good morning, y'all. Come on in, hit that like button on the way in. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let's see. Hey, E. Brooks. Hey, Amazing. Hey, Georgia Girl. Hey, it's intro again just to give others time to get in here. Y'all know I'm not. Honestly, I don't think I'm still in not. But let me give it a few more minutes, and then we're gonna get started. Thank y'all for starting in just a minute. Just enjoy the music, and I'll be right back.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now, put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark room, perfume. Go, go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you when you're in the mood for empathy. There's blood in my pen. Better yet, with your friends and them. I really wanna know you all. I really wanna show you off. Fuck God, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and your girl in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga, don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga, that ain't good game, homie, sorry. They say conversation rule a nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S. You can get it, you can get it, you can get it.
Tonight is on an island. that silence is so quiet, but I hear you saying to me, baby. Said our time we're making up time. The times you wasn't with me waking up. Now you never said I couldn't miss your touch. I needed to distance myself from you. I was just alone with you. So come close, won't you? Can I tell you something for what it is worth? We've had it, that's all that take you there, take you. Show you something, give you more than words. We've had it, that's all that take you there, take you. Show you something, give you more than words. We've had it, that's all that take you there, take you there. Take you there, won't you? Fill me up till my cup's overflowing. I'm so anxious just to feel the silence. It's so quiet, but I hear you saying to me, baby. Said our time we're making up time. The times you wasn't with me waking up. Now you never said I couldn't miss your touch. I needed to distance myself from you. I was just alone with you. So come close, won't you? Can I tell you something for what it is worth? We've had it, that's all that take you there, take you. Show you something, give you more than words. We've had it, that's all that take you there, take you there. Please be don't just be nothing to me. I want you to give to me, yeah. Please be don't just be nothing to me. I want you to give to me, yeah.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now, put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark perfume, go, go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you. When you're in the mood for empathy, there's blood in my pen. Better yet, with your friends and them. I really wanna know you all. I really wanna show you off. Fuck God, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and your girl in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga, don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga, that ain't good game, homie, sorry. They say conversation rule a nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S. You can get it, you can get it, you can get it.
Good morning. Hey y'all, come on in. Hey Natasha. I think I spoke to everybody else. Hey, Cam. I do too, Renee. I do too, girl. I love it. I love it. Hey, Miss Tia. Hey, Miss Margie. Sneaking. Hey, Fawnberry. Y'all come on in. Hit that like button. We're going to get it started, y'all. We're going to get it started, okay? Hey, Lady Marie. Hey, Miss Gloria. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday, y'all. It is Thursday, honey. Already, we're going to get into it. I think, who was that? Lucinda. Oh, Lucinda. I think she's in the bushes at this point. But thank you. You have a blessed, beautiful day too as well. Who said that she had heard about this story. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get right into it. What I'm gonna do first, y'all, is I'm gonna pull up an article because um I'm gonna pull up an article and I'm gonna give y'all a hey Miss Lynn. I don't know how I miss Miss Lynn. Did I miss you, Miss Lynn? Hey Miss Lynn. Hey Candy Corn. Y'all come on in and hit that like button for your girl. Let's get it started. So, it was Sonya, I think they said I was breaking up during when I spoke before. Hopefully I'm not now. Y'all let me know if I am. But it could have been because I was outside and the wind was blowing pretty hard. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But y'all let me know if I'm clear right now. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read this article to sort of kind of give y'all an overview of what this particular case is about. And then we're gonna react to a video. Thank you, Miss Lynn. All right, so let me see. Let's get into it. Let's get into this article. I'm gonna pull it all the way up. Let me see. Um, did I speak to Miss Carla? Hey, Miss Carla. All right, so now these names. Let me tell you something about these names, honey. On this particular. Now, when I was looking this up, or doing a little bit more reading up on this case, the name of the particular victim. It's like every article I went to. Okay, thank you, Sonya. It's like every article I went to, as far as the victim, her, and I'm gonna call her her, even though she's a transgender. So of course I'm gonna respect the pronoun and call her a her. Hey, Juicy Kim. Hey, girl. And so yeah, but with her, it's like every article or video that I read or listened to or looked at, because I haven't really listened to everything. Her name was different. Like it would have 3 names, 4 names, 2 names. It was different spellings. It was real confusing, but I'm gonna try my best with these names. Now, this is the case of the victim's name is, and let me get it right, Brushan Charmaine McClam. And the perpetrator's name is Makari Gasaway. Okay. And I'm gonna read this article to sort of kind of give y'all an overview of what the case is about, and then we're gonna react to the video. Hey, amazing. All right, so this took place in Gulfport, Mississippi. All right. So District Attorney W. Crosby Parker announced 22, and that's young, and the victim was also young. 22-year-old Makari Seven Gasaway. It might supposed to be Steven. I think it's supposed to be Steven. Gasaway of Los Angeles, California, pled guilty to his role in a 2022 murder in Gulfport. Hey, Natasha, I think I spoke to you. On Friday, this is he pled guilty not too long ago, y'all. On Friday, October the 11th, Gasaway was sentenced on 1 count of second-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated assault, and 1 count of tampering with evidence. The investigation into the murder began on June 21st, 2022, when Gulfport police were called to 39th Avenue after a shooting was reported from inside an apartment complex. Upon arrival, officers found 27-year-old Brushan Charmaine McClam dead from 2 gunshot wounds. And now this article refers to the victim as a he. but I'm gonna say she or her. So McClam was found dead from two gunshot wounds, and her sister, 21-year-old Kanisha McClain. See, they got the in the sister. They got her name as McClam and the sister McClain. So I don't know if that's a I don't know what that's about. But anywho, also wounded with three gunshot wounds. McClain told police the sister survived. She told police that her and her sibling was shot by an unknown black male wearing dark clothes and entered their apartment around midnight. Detectives watched video surveillance from more than 20 locations throughout Gulfport and tracked the suspect's trail on a bicycle after the shooting to another apartment complex where they found the bicycle. A search warrant was obtained to take the bicycle and search the nearby apartment where they located identification, the firearm, and clothes worn by Gasaway at the time of the crime. Detectives interviewed Gasaway, who admitted the firearm was his, and went to the apartment to meet McClain, who he met through a dating website. They met on the web. Um, Gasaway ultimately admitted to shooting at the apartment and shooting McClain when he found out that McClain was a male. According to 88 Chris Daniel, Gasaway admitted to deleting all messages with McClam after the murder. During the plea hearing, he pled guilty, y'all. He pled guilty. And he got 50 years. Let me point that out too as well. During the plea hearing, Judge Lisa Dodson stated, "Why didn't you just walk out?" And it kind of behooved me that I just had this conversation. Who did I have? Was it Trey? I think it was Trey on a panel recently when we was talking about finding out that a female turns out to be a male. Uh, why not just walk away? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to harm the person. You don't have to hurt them. Just walk away. But anywho, during the plea hearing, Judge Lisa Dawson stated, "Why didn't you just walk out? I can't fathom why you would react so what is that? Viscerally? I ain't never seen that word. As to shoot somebody. No one did anything to you. The family will suffer forever, and you will have this long sentence." That's what the judge said to him. It was Trey on the man's line. Okay, you broke. Thank you. Judge Lisa Dawson sentenced Gasaway to a combined sentence of 15 years, 20 suspended, 30 years to serve in prison with 5 years of report and post-release supervision. Now this guy is 22. Well, and now he's 24, I think. But yeah, he's pretty much he got a chance of getting out. He'll be 50 something. Um, this senseless and tragic crime caused a huge loss for the family and friends of Brashawn McClam, D.A. Parker said. This is an important day for the family as they seek justice for the loss of a beloved son and sibling. See, they refer to walk away after I up the blicky. Well, you're gonna be just like this guy locked up. Yep, I remember that conversation with you and Trey. Yeah. I mean, just walk away, especially if you ain't had. Listen, you ain't do nothing. You ain't had no sex. You found out it was a male. Just walk away. He just walk away. We appreciate the hard work, dedication, and commitment of the Gulfport Police Department that ensured this arrest and conviction. Now, that's the overall view of the case. Now we're gonna get into the actual video. Okay. Hi Trey, you not speaking? Typing in the chat, but you're not speaking. Memphis all day. My God. Let's see. Mm. Yeah, please be sure to hit the like button. I appreciate it. Support the channel. Hit the Cash App, PayPal. I would appreciate it. All right. Now, let me see. Let me see what the name of this channel is so my moms can put the link in the chat right quick So y'all can go and support the channel. Check it out. Y'all know I'm subscribed to so many crime channels. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy. But
in violence. What happened in those fateful hours?
hush, not yet.
What kind of
Hold
darkness
on.
lay beneath Makari's facade?
Hold on, child. We coming. Okay, so ebooks or any other mod. The name of the channel is uh, mid Mind Twist. Okay, Mind Twist True Crime Stories. MINDTWIST. Mind Twist True Crime Stories. And they only have, oh my god, they only have 246 subscribers, but this video got 10K views. That's amazing. That is amazing. So y'all go check it out. Go check out the channel. Mind Twist True Crime Stories, okay? I remember a trans tried to do that to Bobby Valentino and he tried to walk out, but the trans was trying to record and set him up. I guess it's the whole thing of people even thinking of seeing it. That's crazy. Thank you, eBooks. Y'all go check out the channel and subscribe. They at 246. They only have 246 subscribers. Okay. Um, but this video got 10K views. So let's go. If my computer wasn't being so slow, my God. This is crazy. What are you doing? Hmm. It's crazy. It's weird, y'all. Oh, there it is, I think. Why won't it blow up? Hmm. Hey, Room Shaker. How you doing, girl? This is weird, y'all. It's not working. It's crazy. It will not allow me to blow this screen up. I guess I have to do theater mode. I don't want to. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's get into it, y'all.
A young woman looking for love in the digital age. She connects with someone online, a man who seems kind, maybe easing. But in just a few short hours, that anticipation would turn to horror. Charmaine McClam, a bright 27-year-old, met Makari Gasaway through an online platform, likely feeling the same mix of excitement and trepidation that so many feel on a first date. But that night, her life would end in violence. What happened in those fateful hours? And what kind of darkness lay beneath Makari's facade? Tonight, we present the heartbreaking case of Charmaine, a woman navigating her journey while also facing the many challenges unique to transgender individuals, especially those seeking connection and acceptance online. Her story is a tragic reminder of the risks that come with meeting strangers in the digital world, a world where, unfortunately,
Even though I want to just sit and listen to this, I have to stop and do commentary on it because that's just what we have to do when you playing somebody else's content. So what I'm gonna say right here, hold on a minute, y'all. Hey Mimi, be safe, girl. Thank you for dropping in. She's beautiful. I mean, you just would never know that she's a transgender. Like she's gorgeous, young too, and he look older than 22. He look older than her, and she's 20. She was 27. What do you mean, E. Brooks? What pictures? Those pictures look different. What do you mean?
People aren't always who they seem to be. We'll put together the events leading to that fateful night in June 2022, unraveling the story that stunned her family and shook the LGBTQ plus community. This case of Brushan Charmaine McClam is tragic and deeply disturbing. According to Gulfport police reports, McClam, a 27-year-old transgender woman, was fatally shot multiple times during a violent confrontation with Makari Gasaway. The incident occurred at Mam's apartment, where her family was present, including sister, mother, and 2 young children. Police stated that a fight had broken out between Gasaway and McClam, escalating quickly when Gasaway drew a gun and opened fire. Tragically, McClam died on the scene, while her sister sustained multiple gunshot wounds and was taken to the hospital in critical
Hey,
condition.
watch your
Her
mommy.
recovery status is uncertain and safe, with no further updates on her condition yet released. Despite the violence, the family members were spared from physical harm, though the traumatic nature of the event has left its mark on the surviving family members and the community at large. Before we continue this chilling stories, subscribing to this channel now will encourage us to continue bringing you mind-twisting and gripping true crime stories around the world on a daily basis. We solicit your support for this channel as we tend to continue creating awareness about the dangers we face in our society through kindly tap the button right away. Her death was a senseless act of violence against a transgender woman, highlighting the ongoing issue of discrimination and violence faced by the transgender community. It's important to remember that transgender individuals deserve to live their lives free from fear and violence. For viewers interested in true crime, this story serves as a grim reminder of the dangers faced by marginalized groups, particularly within intimate online encounters, where initial conflicts can lead to fatal outcomes. This case underscores the importance of safety and the nature of such interactions. Have you, or someone you know, ever experienced a risky encounter through online dating? Share your story in the comments below, as we uncover the events that led to this heartbreaking end. Online dating, a world where strangers meet, hoping to turn a digital connection into something real. But for transgender individuals, this journey is far more complicated. Imagine every swipe, every chat, every hello carrying with it a question: is this person safe? The rise of online dating has brought connection to millions, but it's a double-edged sword, especially for those in the transgender community who face unique dangers others may never imagine. In a world where over 300 million people worldwide use dating apps, it's easy to forget the risks. But when it comes to marginalized groups like transgender individuals, the risks are multiplied. According to a 2020 study, transgender people are nearly 4 times more likely than their cisgender peers to experience violence or harassment when dating online. And behind every profile picture, there can be hidden biases or dangers. Studies show that while 72% of Americans feel that online dating is safe for most, only 42% of transgender individuals feel the same level of security. Safety is a distant guarantee. Think about it. That innocent smile in a profile picture, the friendly messages, they can mask a reality full of misunderstanding.
I don't think that online dating is now as far as online dating could be the safest form of dating if you don't plan to meet up. Now, if you plan to meet up, it could be, for me, honestly, the most dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Because you're meeting somebody online, like, as far as online and the internet, people could put themselves out there to be whoever they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can, like, completely lie about their whole identity, which is, pretty much the case in this case. But online dating poses a risk that, and even if you meet some, just to be honest though, even if you meet somebody in person, you still honestly don't know that person, but you are meeting them in person. You're looking at them, you're talking to them. Um, you still have to get to know that person. The safety about online dating is you can't communicate online, but if you decide to meet up with that person, you just don't know what you're gonna get. You just don't. You don't. I used to watch that show Catfish. all the time, and I was just amazed at how people would have so many pictures of somebody else and create a whole nother persona of themselves and be something totally different. And that's weird. That's weird. But okay, let's listen.
And in some cases, outright hostility. When Charmaine McClam logged on to connect with Makari Gasaway, she entered a landscape filled with these risks. Like so many transgender women, she sought connection, acceptance, perhaps love. But as we've seen before, not everyone online is who they claim to be. Not everyone holds good intentions. The challenges transgender individuals face on these platforms aren't always visible, but they're real. According to a report from the National Center for Transgender Equality, almost 50% of transgender people is. Imagine having to weigh your identity against your safety every time you meet someone new. And in Charmaine's case, these invisible risks would soon
Hey,
turn
too.
devastatingly real. So what can be done to protect the most vulnerable on these platforms? Safety tips abound. Meet in public, share your location with a friend, take things slow. But is it enough? In a world where identity itself can be a risk factor, are these precautions really adequate? And now we ask you, what safety measures do you think are crucial when navigating the online dating world? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue unraveling this story. Because for Charmaine, all the precautions in the world couldn't prevent the tragedy that would follow. What happened that night in Gulfport? What turned a seemingly ordinary date into a life-threatening encounter? Stay with us as we uncover the events that led to Charmaine's final moments, and the man behind it all, Makari Gasaway. Who was Makari Gasaway? What brought him to that fateful meeting with Charmaine McClam? A question that only seems to lead to more questions. Young, just 22 years old, Makari appeared to be like any other man looking for connection in the digital world. But behind that simple screen name and profile picture, there may have been shadows, secrets, and perhaps something far more unsettling. It was just another night in Gulfport, Mississippi, but somehow their paths would cross in the most unpredictable way. Was Makari simply a man seeking companionship? Or were there signs, warning flags, even moments in his past that hinted at the potential for violence? Makari, a man described by some as quiet, was known in his community, but perhaps not in a way that made people truly understand who he was. Family, friends, did anyone really know him, or was he a mystery even to those closest to him? At just 22, Makari had already seen challenges, struggles that would later emerge in small hints here and there. What do we really know about people we meet online? How many of them carry scars, anger, or experiences that they never reveal? And with Makari, was there something hidden? Something just waiting to be unleashed? While details of Makari's past remain sparse, there are reports suggesting he had a history that raised questions. Occasional arguments with others, misunderstandings, moments that hinted at someone who could be both passionate and unpredictable. Though his online persona may have seemed calm, those who knew him wondered if there was another side, a side that might surface without warning. Imagine knowing someone who seems perfectly normal, even kind, only to later find out that beneath that surface, there's a potential for anger, for something darker. Do we really ever know someone, especially someone we meet online? What if someone close to you had a hidden side? How would you even begin to see it? Let us know your thoughts below as we continue to dig into the story, secrets that may have led to Charmaine's tragic end. So far, we've seen hints and whispers. But what really happened between Makari and Charmaine on that fateful night? Was it just a casual meeting gone wrong, or was something more at play? As we continue, we'll uncover the moments leading up to the shocking crime and try to answer the question, who was Makari Gasaway? Really? A simple message, just a click, a few words, a picture, and two lives are brought together in ways neither could have foreseen. Charmaine McClam, like many others searching for love and companionship, was navigating the world of online dating, a world filled with both hope and risk. This time, her heart led her to Makari Gasaway, a stranger with whom she would make a connection that would change everything. It started with a match. But what exactly do we know about that first moment? What might have drawn Charmaine to this particular profile, to this man? We can only imagine her hopes and expectations as she opened that first message, seeing Makar's words, possibly sensing a connection, a spark that made her believe this be different. Maybe, this time, she thought she was meeting someone who would truly understand her. In those early interactions, things may have seemed simple, even promising. A polite message here, a friendly compliment there. Makari, on the other end of that chat, likely presented himself as curious, eager, perhaps interested in learning more about her life. She may have taken comfort in his questions, in his attention, but as we know all too well, words on a screen can sometimes mean little in the real world. People aren't always who they appeared to be. Was there a hint of caution?
Oh Lord have mercy,
A
he's going all
second
around the world. I get it, but listen. My question is, and I'm waiting for him to. I'm actually waiting for him to get into it. But this is the thing. When you decide to do online dating or whatever, however, what in this particular case right here, I just want to know off the real, like, did they meet on a site, right? Did they meet on the website to where it asked? Because see, apparently the story is he unalived her because he didn't know that she was a transgender, right? Um so when they met up, because that was the first and only time they met up, like that was the first time they had met up when he unalived her. So I'm assuming that he did not know that she was a transgender. Now my question to y'all is this, and I know, listen, it's for me it's common sense. But a lot of times when you ask a question that you think is simple and the answer is simple, according to who you're asking it, it could be complicated. So my thing is this: even in online dating, like when you are getting to know someone that you met online, and y'all decide to communicate, go back and forth, talk, and tell each other about each other's lives. Being a transgender is one of those things to me, honestly, that should be made known off the rip. Because this is the thing. Why would you have communications with a person that this guy think you're female and you assume that he's a male, right? So he's assuming that you're a female. You have conversations with this person and you like him so much so that you want to meet up in person. What do you, I mean, like, don't get it twisted. Like, what he did to her was, it was so unnecessary, uncalled for. He deserves every year that he got in prison. But I just wonder what a person is thinking, such as Charmaine, as to like you talking to this man, he think you're a woman. Of course, men, when you meet somebody online, eventually they want to meet up and have sex. Let's just be clear, they do want to meet up and have sex. So you don't communicate with this person. This person think that you're a female, and then when y'all meet up and you turn out to be a transgender, not knowing whether or not that man is going to accept that because you hadn't told him or you hadn't mentioned it. I wonder what they think. I wonder why they don't think that could turn out to be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of men had this thing, just like Trey with his waver behind, that feel like, look, if I meet up with you and you turn out to be this, and you didn't tell me this off the rip. You've been playing with me like you lied. It ain't even about the lies, about the fact that I've been communicating and opening my heart up to a man, and I don't go that route. Fun Baby said, truth, I agree. However, it's 2024. Men need to ask, hey, no disrespect, but are you trans or what? Let's just be clear, Fun Bear. I get what you're saying, but that would offend so many women. Come on now, we got people here on this app that when they be live and people come in the chat and say, are you a transgender? That that's offensive to some people. That can offend a woman. Like you talking to this guy, okay, and you're actually a female, and you communicate with this guy, you like him or whatever, y'all communicate, and all of a sudden he asks you, look, I don't mean no harm. But are you really a woman like that? Come on now. That's gonna offend a lot of women. And you know what? In this day and age, I guess it makes sense that the question would be asked because it's so much going on. Like it's so much going on with, you know, it is. So it makes sense to ask the question, but it's still gonna be so offensive. I wouldn't be offended, especially in today's world. For real, I get it, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of women. It has happened so much that they need to make their gender known. Yeah, I think so. I think I look. I respect transgenders, that whole community. I have nothing against them. I actually love them. I love the because see, you got to be strong and courageous to come out and live that type of lifestyle. My only thing is this. Um, I misunderstood. I thought he knew because I heard the presenter say that no, I don't think he knew. It's the TS person's or the trans person response. Yeah, it is. It is their responsibility. And I think to be honest, they need to be honest off the real. Like even before like that initial conversation, you should make it known who you are, what you are, and give that person an option of whether or not they want to continue. It's like I feel the same way. It's just like I feel about women that are with a man and the man makes a decision like maybe to cheat or to, he maybe be bisexual, sleeping with a man. You have to tell people. And I know it calls for hard conversations, and that's what people don't like to have. They don't like to have those hard conversations. But you, in entering into a relationship or a potential relationship, you have to make it known. Like you have to put it out there what you want or expect in that relationship. And there's no way that you can make a person want to deal with a situation if they don't want to deal with it. And I'm just saying, I'm trying to say it without sounding harsh, but I do honestly believe that transgenders should tell a man or a woman or whatever what their status is, like what that is. Because if you think about it, if you are communicating with this person and you start liking this person, you want to be with this person, and of course, sex gonna come up. It's gonna come up, and in these days, it come up in like the first conversation. Let's just be clear. If it ain't done on the first night, I'm just saying. But what do you think? You presented yourself as a woman, and then when it's time to have sex or whatever, the man thinking you're a woman, and all of a sudden you would no. See, people got to be responsible. They have to be responsible. What I was getting at is those are catfishing pictures. In one picture, she's super light, so he was surprised. He listen. I don't listen. The lightness or the darkness or anything of that nature. Ebooks. That woman looks the same in all them pictures. She's gorgeous. She looks the same. It wasn't catfishing. That's her. It wasn't catfishing as far as how she looks. It is catfishing as to what her gender was, but as far as the looks, I'm not even focusing on that. She looks like a woman. She looks like a beautiful woman. She does. Now what she looks without the makeup and everything, I don't know. But and also ask the hard question. Yeah, you listen. I'm all about when I and y'all know that I'm just not. See, let me put it like this. I'm all about when I'm communicating with a person in anticipation of it becoming maybe a relationship to sit down and have hard conversations. Like that's why the last two people that I've been with has been best friends to me. Like because we could talk about anything. Just be honest. You could be honest with me. I prefer you to be honest with me and put everything out there. And like I said, give me the choice. Now, all people don't do that. Give me the choice. Well, he may say, well, I got this going on or I got that going on. And, you know, I don't know how you may take it to this and the third. Well, let's talk about it. Give me an option. Don't just think that you're gonna be able to force a particular lifestyle on me. I just feel like they should tell whoever it is. Now I ain't just talking about somebody they just having casual conversations with. I'm talking about somebody they communicating with on a daily and talking about a potential relationship and talking about laying down with each other. I think you should tell someone upfront to look out for your own well being because people can snap. That's absolutely right. And that's apparently what this guy did. That's absolutely right, Renee. All right, let's get back into it. I can talk for y'all, but let's go.
And thought that crossed Charmaine's mind as she read his messages? Or did the warmth of the connection override any hesitation she might have had? For Charmaine, like so many for genuine companionship line, there may have been a longing for acceptance, a desire to be seen not for her label, but for the person she truly was. Charmaine was a woman with dreams, someone who saw beyond the surface. She had overcome so much just to live her truth, to stand as her authentic self. And in those first exchanges, she might have seen Makari as a person who could appreciate her for her courage, for her spirit, for her journey. For many in her shoes, the hope is simple: to find someone who will listen, someone who will stay, someone who will look at them and say, I see you, I accept you. And so with her heart open, she may have agreed to meet that night, with thoughts of what could be, a simple evening, a connection, maybe even something that could last. But as we know now, what she walked into was far from the future she might have imagined. Have you ever felt that pull, that spark of hope when connecting with someone online?
You know what? It could be that fun. People are afraid to ask hard questions because not wanting to offend that person, but getting hurt. Yeah, but see, it could be that too of not wanting to offend the person, but it could also be they don't want to know the answer. A lot of people a lot of people don't mind. Listen, a lot of people don't mind walking around ignorant. Okay, they don't mind walking around not knowing. Right? See, because if you think about it, like if you ask the hard questions, you have to be able to accept or deal with the answer. Right? You have to deal with the answer. And a lot of people, to be honest, just like to would rather not know. Would rather not know. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird to me. Like me myself, I want to know. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what's up, what you expect, like, what we gonna do. It just is what it is. But a lot of people don't ask because they don't want to know. And to be honest, I feel like there are a lot of women that if they're asked the question of whether or not you're a man or a woman, right, will get offended. But to be honest, if you're a woman, why be offended? Okay, so they ask you the question, are you a man or a woman? That's just like if you talking to a dude and you ask the dude, are you bisexual? Are you monogamous? Are you sleeping with men and women? Let me know what's up. So the hard questions has to be asked because of the age that we're living in. Just like you said, 2024, 2024. Like I said, I know y'all remember me saying this, and I ate my words. Well, not really because I'm not in a technically, to me, honestly, in my eyes, in a relationship. But I know y'all remember me saying over and over again, and Lord knows I did not anticipate having to deal with it so soon. But I know I used to say it all the time, like if I lost my Tony, that I probably wouldn't ever date again because you know what, it's so much going on in the world, and I don't want to start over, and I don't want to get to know a person and have to ask all hard questions and worry about if I'm being lied to and this and the third. I said that. I said I just don't have the energy to start over. Let me get this out, Fun Bear. Thank you for joining. Then I'm gonna let you talk. So, but luckily, the person that I am currently, seeing or whatever, I knew this person. I've been knowing this person for years. Like, it's not like start. It's like starting over, but not so much, right? Because I knew this person even before I knew Tony. So it's an advantage to that. But I still can't see myself starting over with a person that I don't know at all. Like because It is so much going on. You don't know what people are doing. You don't know what they're hiding. You don't know. Natasha, unless they were on a trans or gay site, the trans should assume the person looking for. That's what I. Yes, right. That's why I say, Natasha. I wish you would say what website they met on. He's just talking, talking, talking. I guess we're gonna listen. But thank you, Ebooks. Hey, Miss Ann. Good to see you, baby. Hey, Fun Berry.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lovely. How are you?
Good. What I was trying to say, it's kind of
Okay.
hard to type what you really mean in
I
the
know.
chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
30, 40 years ago,
Mhm.
it would be offensive. You wouldn't have to ask these questions, but
Mhm.
people have to move with the time. You get what
Right.
I'm saying? Basically, in the world we live in now,
Mhm.
people got different pronouns.
Mhm.
People want to be called this, that, and the third. So
Mhm.
now in dating, yes, your questions do have to shift.
Yep.
And
I
like you
agree.
said, why be offended if a man asks you, are you trans? Were you born a female? I would not personally get offended because of the society that we live in
Mhm.
today.
I wouldn't either, fun. I wouldn't
Now,
either.
probably 40 years ago, yeah, I might have been offended 40 years ago. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But you have to have the mindset of where we at today.
Absolutely.
That should not be an offensive question to be asked. You get what I'm saying? Because like
Mhm.
you said, if you was born a female, I'll laugh it off. Hell yeah. Born a female and gonna die female. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Absolutely.
you have to go with the times. You can't be stuck in your old ways. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Because you will get your feelings hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people do hate to ask hard questions because you don't want to offend somebody. But then you
Mhm.
end up getting hurt yourself.
Yeah. You end up getting hurt, or worse, such as in this case. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
I just
If
want to think.
I'm
I
gonna
just
tell
want
you
to know.
something.
I just want to understand how a person who knows that that this person that they're communicating with don't know what the actual gender is. They assume that she's a woman. He thinks that she's a woman. Of course, he wants to have sex with you as a woman. What do you think? Like, what? How do you not tell that person, look, I know we meet, even if you have to tell them, like, right when you're planning or whatever you're planning, like, look, like, okay, now I know you want to meet up. I know what you want, because we all know what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta tell you this. Like, I gotta tell you something before we meet up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Or
I'm saying?
yeah, because yes, is it their right to let that man know? Absolutely. But it's also your responsibility. You can't put all the responsibility on that person because you have to take responsibility for yourself. That's just my personal opinion. If you don't ask the hard questions, you won't know, and then you end up getting hurt or mad and in this situation right here in
Hey,
jail.
Melissa. Hey, girl. Fun. I absolutely agree with you when you say, and that's when I say grown adults have to be grown adults and they have to take accountability and take responsibility, right? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why my thing. Oh, there it is. But listen, so I agree with you. So this is the thing. Like, I think what you're saying is this. Yeah, the transgender person has a responsibility to let that guy know what it is, but that guy also has the responsibility of asking.
That's no different than a man and woman getting together. The man is adamant that he don't want no kids, right?
Right.
But you raw dogging her and putting the responsibility on her to take the birth control, right?
Mm-hmm.
It happened, she get pregnant. Now you mad. But you wasn't mad going raw up in her. You get what I'm saying? If you're adamant about something, you're going to take self responsibility and do what you have to do to not be in that in that situation.
I
And
agree.
like I said, we're in a different time. Things are different.
I mean,
Don't
you
leave
have
it
to
up to that
literally like
person to
to
tell you.
me,
You ask.
for me, honestly, fun as a female, which I can only speak as a female. Um, I think it's so the question that you really have to ask a person. To me, honestly, like you say, it's coming with the times. You have to literally ask a man that you communicate with, and that's why communication is important. And you shouldn't just hop
Mm-hmm.
in the bed with people.
Yep.
You should have like deep conversations. You should be intimate. You should be intimate in conversations before you become intimate in the bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to ask questions like you can't assume. In this day and time, you can't even assume, man. You gotta ask those
Mm-hmm.
questions. You gotta say, look, just like you ask about wives, girlfriends, kids,
Mm-hmm.
baby mamas, you ask all that. You gotta ask, look, are you really a male or female? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you do you have sex with the opposite sex?
Mm-hmm.
It's just is what it is. Cause people doing it so willy nilly nowadays.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I agree with you. The questions have been updated, honey, on the
Yes,
survey.
because you better get some tough skin and stop being so offended about every and anything. Because we live in a different world. It
Hmm.
is what it is. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, some of these trans women, shit, look better than me and you. Let's
Look
be
at that
real.
girl. That girl was beautiful.
Let's be real. Let's keep it 100. So, I, these men can be fooled because they go by the looks first,
Absolutely.
the exterior. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, they better man up and learn how to ask that hard question. Look, you beautiful, but hey, in the world we live in today, baby girl, were you born a female? And if she's a true female, then she's not going to be offended, or she shouldn't be. And that gives that trans woman the
Yeah, because I think
opportunity to
some
be
women,
honest.
I think it's several reasons why a woman would be offended, and I can say that they're probably thinking, and that's where, like I said, the communication comes in because they can feel like, well, are you saying I look like a man or I got man, I'm manly or something? No, no, it ain't
No.
necessarily got to be that. I think T.S. Madison is beautiful. I think T.S. Madison look better than a lot of women I know. I love me
Just
some
in the
T.S.
face.
Madison.
In the face.
Well, I love me some T.S. Madison.
Because that
Hey,
body
K
is
Champ.
way too much. That body is way too
Oh,
much.
girl, it's a lot. It's a lot. Even the personality is a lot, but I love her. I do. I watch her
Hmm.
show. I love her. But men could definitely be fooled. But see, men need to start. Well, I'm not gonna put it all on the man. I'm not gonna put it all on the man because it is a responsibility. Like you have to be responsible when you choose to live any lifestyle,
Hmm.
heterosexual, gay, bisexual, any lifestyle. You have to be
Hmm.
responsible. That's just the bottom line. You just got to be responsible and you got to stand in your shit. Like
Yep.
honestly, you know
Live
what I'm
in your
saying?
truth. Live in your truth.
Hmm. And then too, honestly, I feel like according to what your lifestyle is, that should be your target. And when I mean target, I mean like when you go on these dating websites. If you know you're transgender, you go on a website where men looking for transgender.
Right.
Then you don't have to worry about being rejected, right?
Hmm.
You don't be a transgender and you go on a website targeting like straight men who want a woman
Right.
and then try to manipulate or convince that man, because let's be clear, you just got to be honest, man.
Yes. And that's why it's hard to have empathy when oh, all these trans women are getting killed. Oh, I'm sorry, getting knocked off, and this, that, and the third. But again, you have to take response. You can't go around all willy nilly, really making this man thinking you're one thing and you're not. And then when it's getting down to the nitty gritty, when y'all about to
Now
lay it down in the bed,
well, I
and
will
he
say this,
feels a piece
home.
of wood, he got wood, you hard,
Yeah,
he hard. That's not cool.
yeah, I will say this. I can understand, and I can understand a man being upset, angry, hell, like
Yes.
all of that when it comes to finding out that a person that he was speaking with turned out to be a male. I can understand that. I do not understand why you feel like taking that person's life is gonna make anything any better, especially if the sex hadn't happened. You didn't have sex with the person, so you just chop it up as a loss. Like, okay, so you communicated with this person, you thought this person was a female, you thought you was gonna have some good sex, and it didn't happen. You found out the
Right.
person is a man. Okay, let it go. Walk away. Let it
Mhm.
go. I understand being angry and upset. A lot of
Yeah, I
times
do
people
too.
develop a lot of times people develop feelings and emotions before even meeting a person. You get it? So
Well,
I
that's
get that
no
you
different from us being a female, right?
yeah,
If you got
yeah,
this trans man, he got it, you looking like a dude,
right.
and you pulling out a
Oh,
strap
it
on.
goes the same in both situations. Don't get it twisted. I mean, we talking about a trans female because that's the subject or that's the story. But yeah, it goes both ways. Absolutely,
hmm
absolutely.
That's why we got to learn to ask them hard questions. We in a different time, different
And that's the
society,
thing,
different time.
Fun Bear. I think that is the worst thing about today's society. People don't have those tough conversations. They don't ask the hard
Mm-mm.
questions. They don't. They walk around in ignorance, and then when something like this happen, they feel a certain type of way. But you, like you say,
Yep.
you have to take accountability for not even
hmm
asking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
ask. Shoot. Stop just trying
hmm
to jump into bed all the time. That's the problem.
Yep.
Stop trying to bed hop. Stop trying. If that's what you're gonna do, if you're gonna bed hop, well, you ask that person right off the rip. Just ask them right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna have the conversations, if you just gonna jump in the bed, you need to ask. You know what I'm saying?
hmm I sure do. You better have them conversations. You know, the world is changing. The world is different. People go by different pronouns. People are trans and all this. By the way, are you trans? Cause I ain't.
Look at me hitting the button. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like this was in Gulfport. Now this guy I think was from California, but the actual crime happened in Gulfport. Let me see what y'all saying. Most of the time they are creeping and don't want nobody to know about it.
Well, then they're putting themselves in
What
danger.
else? We got a case coming up. We got a case coming up that we're gonna talk about. Whereas, the person actually knew that he knew that the person, the young lady was a transgender. He just didn't want it to be known. Like you said, he wanted to creep with her, and he didn't want it. And she had gotten to a point to where she wanted to be public or whatever. And he ended up. So we'll talk about that later. It's definitely a violation, and everyone can't handle being violated. Yeah, I think it is a violation. I honestly do think it's a violation. I do. I think it's a violation, and not just in that situation. I think in any situation. I think in the situation of a female communicating with a guy online, and you getting to know each other, and you're just flat out the guy or the female flat out lying about their life and who they are,
Mm-hmm.
and you meet up and you thinking you getting one thing and you getting something else, yeah, it's a violation. It's a violation to lie to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just is what it is. So yeah. So let's let for you gonna stay up here with me? I know you
Yeah, I
probably
can stay
working.
up for a minute, but I have a 1 o'clock meeting, but I can stay up till then.
Okay, all right, great. All right, so we're gonna listen to some more of the video, y'all.
But maybe, somewhere, a flicker of doubt. Have you ever sensed something wasn't quite right and ignored it? Tell us in the comments. What would you have done in Charmaine's shoes? That evening, Charmaine and Makari made plans to meet. A casual hangout, maybe a chance to watch a movie, laugh, connect, get to know each other beyond the profiles and the messages. But as they both walked into that night, neither could have known that things would take a turn that no one could have foreseen. As Charmaine prepared for that night, what thoughts might have crossed her mind? Excitement? Maybe a touch of nervousness, wondering what he'd be like in person, hoping he'd be the kind of person she could finally trust. But there, lurking just beyond the promises of companionship, lay something darker. something that would unravel with devastating consequences. As Charmaine stepped into that meeting, she couldn't have known the danger that awaited her. But what was it that turned a simple Netflix and chill into a nightmare? What was it about Makari that led to her final moments? Join us as we explore the events of that evening, piecing together the mystery of what went wrong. It was an ordinary night, or at least it seemed that way. As darkness settled over the city, two people, Charmaine McClam and Makari Gassaway, were preparing to meet, drawn together by a brief connection online, bound by the excitement and mystery that often comes with meeting someone new. But behind that anticipation, unknown to Charmaine, lay something deeply unsettling. Tonight would be their first encounter, and tragically, it would also be their last. Charmaine, readying herself for a night she hoped would be filled with laughter, maybe a movie, maybe a genuine connection. The air that night might have felt still, almost thick, as if the universe held its breath. It's moments like these that often pass unnoticed, a calm before the storm. And somewhere in that same city, Makari was on his way. Did he seem nervous, excited, or calm? What was going through his mind? For now, that remains unclear, a mystery wrapped in those final, irreversible moments. The room is dimly lit, with just enough light to cast long shadows, to hide expressions, to turn a familiar space into something foreign and unknown. As Charmaine waited, she couldn't have known the danger that was quietly, inevitably approaching her door. What happened next would be the culmination of two paths colliding, of hopes, fears, and intentions coming to a boiling point that no one could have foreseen. And then, he arrived. Makari entered, his presence changing the air, charting it with something that Charmaine could feel. A shift. Undeniable. What did they talk
I
about?
don't know why this
Did
is
they
it
laugh?
skipping on y'all end? Because it is definitely skipping on my end, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
Is it?
it's skipping.
I don't know. I got all my bars. Well, not really. Y'all know it's stormy. Well, raining and stuff here, so I just hate that it's skipping like that. Okay.
Laugh? Or was there an awkward silence, the kind that settles in when two strangers meet, each wondering who the other really is? For Charmaine, it might have felt like any other first meeting, with all its unknowns. But Makari? His mind was somewhere else, his intentions murky, hidden beneath the surface of his calm expression. We often ignore those small signs, don't we? The way someone holds a gaze a little too long, a smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes, or a question that plays. Sensed something was off? If so, would she have had a chance to leave before it was too late? What started as a casual conversation began to change. Maybe Martin shifted. His came sharper, his demeanor less friendly. Charmaine, now fully present in the moment, might have felt a growing sense of unease, a creeping realization that something was wrong. But by then, it was too late. One can only imagine those moments as the tension escalated, as Makari's true intentions surfaced, like shadows lurking just beyond reach. The room that once felt familiar was now a cage, closing in with every word, every movement. What was it that finally broke the facade? A question? A reaction? We may never fully know what triggered Makari's turn, the exact moment when everything spiraled out of control, turning a simple encounter into an irreversible tragedy. In those final minutes, was there a plea, a desperate attempt to understand why things had gone so horribly wrong? Or was it all too fast, a descent too steep, leaving no room for explanation, no space for escape? With little warning, the meeting took a sudden, violent turn. Words were no longer enough, and actions took their place. Actions that would ultimately end Charmaine's life. In the aftermath, as details of what happened that night began to unfold, questions emerged. Could it have been prevented? Could someone have seen this coming? The room was silent, now holding only the weight of what had occurred. The life Charmaine had fought to live, the courage it took to be her true self, was extinguished in that instant, leaving behind only questions and a haunting, tragic mystery. What could possibly drive someone to commit such a horrific act? Was it premeditated, or did something trigger Makari in those final moments? And most importantly, could this have been prevented? It was a quiet night in Gulfport, Mississippi, until it wasn't. Charmaine McClam's apartment had suddenly erupted into chaos, and fire shattering the silence. Inside, an unimaginable scene lay waiting for first responders. But how did the authorities find out? At 11:43 p.m., a 911 call came in, breaking the stillness of the night. The panicked voice on the line told dispatchers that shots had been fired, that someone was hurt, badly hurt. Within minutes, Gulfport police officers and emergency medical personnel raced to the address, prepared for the worst, but likely not realizing just how horrific the scene would be. They arrived at the apartment complex to find family members and neighbors shaken, some in shock, others still processing the trauma. Inside, they encountered a harrowing sight. Charmaine McClam shot multiple times, her life cut short in a violent encounter. Her sister, nearby. The devastating evidence of what had unfolded moments before. The family members who had not been physically harmed were still paralyzed with shock and grief. The first task for the police was to stabilize the scene. Detectives cordoned off the area, securing the apartment and beginning the daunting task of gathering evidence. In cases like these, every small detail counts. Every shell casing, every scuff mark, every eyewitness account. Forensic teams combed the apartment inch by inch, looking for anything that could shed light on the events that had just transpired. The preliminary findings painted a grim picture. Police noted multiple gunshot wounds, indicating a violent confrontation. It appeared that the fatal altercation had likely taken place after some sort of dispute, but they couldn't yet say what had triggered the violence or if it had been premeditated. One major question loomed. Who was Makari Gasaway, and what had brought him into this family's home that night? Initial witness statements began to paint a picture of a chaotic, terrifying situation. A conflict that escalated to violence in a matter of seconds. But what had ignited the conflict? Was it something said in the heat of the moment? Or was there something deeper? Something that had been building under the surface, waiting to erupt? The police knew they'd need more than just witness accounts. There were several family members present, each with their own perspective, each reliving the traumatic night differently. Interviewing the witnesses became a delicate task. The investigators needed to balance compassion with the urgent need to find out exactly what happened. With preliminary evidence secured, detectives turned to Makari Gasaway's background, looking for answers in his history. Who was this man, and what could they learn about him that might explain the explosive violence in Charmaine's home? Investigators scoured Makari's social media profiles, arrest records, and any public interactions he had online. Friends, acquaintances, and even some online connections were questioned. The detectives knew that piecing together a timeline of events from both sides of this tragedy would be essential. While Gasaway was already in custody, the answers didn't come quickly. The family's statements provided key insights, but the investigators needed more. They wanted to know if there had been prior warnings, signals of hostility, or erratic behavior that might explain his actions that night. They probed every detail of Makari and Charmaine's online interactions, trying to put together what had gone so tragically wrong. The tragic reality of the case struck a nerve, raising difficult questions. Was this preventable? Had there been red flags missed along the way? And, more urgently, could this same scenario happen again to someone else? As the pieces began to fall into place, more chilling questions surfaced. What could have triggered such a horrific act? Was it a single moment that set Makari off, or had this been building in him all along, just waiting for the right moment to explode? Have you ever thought about the dangers lurking just below the surface in someone you think you know? Share your thoughts with us in the comments, and stay tuned as we uncover even more about this tragic story. The hunt for Makari Gasaway was about to reach its pivotal moment. After the shooting, authorities were swift to react. But even with all the chaos, one question lingered. Where was Makari? He was nowhere to be found. As the Gulfport police pieced together witness statements and forensic evidence from the crime scene, investigators knew that capturing Makari quickly was crucial. Gasaway had fled the scene after the shooting, leaving only the aftermath and a string of unanswered questions. It wasn't just a matter of locating him. Now it was about finding out why he had disappeared, and whether he planned to face justice or remain in hiding. The investigation team worked tirelessly, analyzing security footage from nearby businesses, checking social media for any sign of Makari's whereabouts, and interviewing people who might have known where he went. In the age of digital footprints, it was not long before a break came. They discovered that Makari had made several attempts to delete his social media accounts and had been in contact with a few people, but his digital trail was not enough to cover his tracks completely. After days of searching, a tip-off came through. A credible lead that placed Makari in a nearby area. He had been spotted in a convenience store, and that would prove to be the moment everything changed. Authorities closed in, and within hours, Makari Gasaway was taken into custody without resistance. But what was going through his mind as the police surrounded him? Did he expect the arrest? Was he trying to evade the inevitable, or had he already resigned himself to his fate? The moment Makari was brought into custody, investigators knew that the true story was about to unravel. Would he confess? Would he explain his actions? Or would he remain silent, his motives a mystery? In the interrogation room, Makari sat quietly. The detectives were quick to present the facts to him. There was no escape from the evidence. Witnesses had identified him as the shooter, and ballistics matched the weapon they had found in his possession. Yet, the room was heavy with silence. His demeanor was cold, almost too calm. At times, he seemed agitated, but the anger was not directed at the officers or even at the situation. Instead, there was an eerie detachment in his eyes, like he was in a place far removed from the horrors he had just inflicted. Detectives tried to probe him with questions, aiming to uncover what had driven him to violence that night. They asked about his relationship with Charmaine, about the altercation, about the gun. Each question met with a carefully measured response. There were moments when Makari seemed to hesitate, his lips pressing into a thin line.
No, this a good video. It's detailed. It's a little too detailed because he just keep rambling, but it's just certain things that I'm wondering. And I don't. This video is 41 minutes long, and we at 23. But y'all know what question? The main question I want to know is this. Like, okay, so they came up with this night to meet, right? So what I'm wondering is this. Okay, so they've been communicating or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out, did he figure out that she was a transgender before he met up with her and he came there to do what he did? Or did once he got there, because see, apparently he came with a gun. Now, him coming with a gun doesn't necessarily mean he came to unalive her. You know, people carry guns. It's just people carry guns, not like they carry purses and wallets. So it's not, out of the ordinary that he actually had a gun that night in that moment. But what I wonder is, did he figure out, right, before he actually arrived that she was a transgender and he actually came there to do what he did? Or did he find out once he got there and he just snapped, or he just, that's what I wish he would get to. I don't even know if he gonna answer it right off, but let's listen.
As if weighing whether to reveal anything at all. But there was something more unsettling about his silence. It wasn't as though he was withholding information. It was as if he was detached from the reality of what had just happened. It was as if the man who entered that interrogation room had no connection to the tragedy that had occurred just days before. As the hours ticked by, the tension built. Investigators tried different angles, pleading with him, appealing to his emotions, trying to crack through the cold facade. But Makari's responses remained vague. He didn't offer much insight into the motive, giving short, almost rehearsed answers. The pieces of the puzzle were still missing. What had triggered this violent act? Was it a personal vendetta, an argument gone too far, or was there something else lurking beneath the surface? As the interrogation wore on, detectives felt like they were getting closer to an answer. But the question still hung in the air. Did Makari truly reveal what had driven him to pull the trigger? Did he fully grasp the gravity of his actions, or was he too lost in his own emotions to even acknowledge the carnage he had left behind? The officers left the room that night with more questions than answers. Makari had been vague, elusive, and strangely detached, but the motive was still unclear. Was it a momentary lapse in judgment, or was there a deeper, darker reason behind the crime? What could have possibly been going through Makari's mind as he entered that apartment? What set him off in a way that led to Charmaine's tragic death? And why did he choose to end the night in such a violent way? What do you think led Makari Gasaway to commit such a horrific act? Do you believe his interrogation will provide more clues, or is there something he's hiding? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and stay with us as we try to explore the final moments of this heartbreaking case. On June 21st, 2022, Gulfport police responded to a shooting that left 27-year-old Brushawn Charmaine McClam dead and his 21-year-old sister, Kenesha McLean, injured. McLean reported that an unidentified black male, dressed in dark clothing, had entered their apartment around midnight and opened fire. Through meticulous investigation, including the analysis of surveillance footage from numerous locations, detectives were able to track the suspect's movements. They eventually identified 20-year-old Makari Seven Gasaway as the prime suspect. A search warrant executed at a nearby apartment led to the recovery of the murder weapon, clothing matching the suspect's description, and other crucial evidence. During questioning, Gasaway admitted to owning the firearm and visiting the apartment to meet McClam, whom he had connected with through an online dating site. However, upon discovering McClam's gender identity, Gasaway reacted violently, resulting in a fatal shooting. He subsequently deleted all communication with the victim. In a court hearing, Judge Lisa Dodson expressed her disbelief at the senseless act of violence, sentencing Gasaway to a combined sentence of 50 years, with to be in prison. District Attorney Billy W. Parker emphasized the tragic loss suffered by McClam's family and friends, commending the efforts of the Gulfport Police Department in bringing the perpetrator this. The trial of Makari Gasaway was a moment of reckoning for all involved. After the investigation legal purposes, the court engaged for one of the most critical
Oh my God, it's a
chapters in
skipping
this
for me. Hold on.
tragic story. What would
Hold
the
on.
justice system decide? Would Charmaine McClam's family get the closure they desperately needed? And would Makari's actions finally be explained in full? Makari Gasaway faced serious charges, including first-degree murder for the death of 27-year-old Charmaine McClam, and attempted murder for the shooting of McClam's sister. The prosecution painted a grim picture, illustrating how Gasaway's violent outburst led to the senseless death of a beloved member of the community. They called witnesses to testify about the brutality of the shooting and the devastating impact it had on Charmaine's family, including her sister, who miraculously survived despite being shot multiple times. On the other side, the defense team attempted to offer a different narrative, trying to build a case that Gasaway had acted out of some kind of rage or fear. They hinted at past trauma or psychological distress as a potential explanation for his actions,
Wow.
attempting to humanize him in the eyes of the jury. Gasaway's
Wow.
demeanor during the trial was mostly stoic, but there were moments when his eyes flickered, betraying a sense of tension. Did he feel remorse? Or was he simply calculating, choosing his words carefully to avoid further incrimination? But perhaps the most heart-wrenching part of the trial came from the victim's family. Charmaine's mother and siblings were in the courtroom, their faces etched with grief. The impact of losing a loved one is impossible to quantify, but as they shared their stories, it became clear just how much they had lost, not just a sister and daughter, but a bright spirit whose life had been senselessly taken. Each statement made by the family members painted a picture of the person Charmaine had been, someone full of love, hope, and dreams for the future. How does one move on from such a loss? Can justice ever truly bring closure to a family that has been torn apart? Or is it simply a small step toward healing? The verdict was finally delivered, and the impact was profound, not only on Charmaine's family, but on the broader community. For Charmaine's family, the trial had been a painful but necessary process. There were no words that could fully heal the wounds
That's
they
the
had
thing,
suffered.
Lisa. He's not going into detail in this video to be so long. he's not going into detail as to what actually happened. I'm looking now to see if because I didn't. I'm looking to see if I see something else that goes into detail. So Melissa said, did he shoot the sister because she was there, sister, or was the sister really biological brothers? I don't know. I'm trying to be patient and listen to see why the sister was actually. I'm thinking she was probably shot because she was there. I don't know. Um, yeah, I'm looking to see if I see because I thought with this video being so long that it would actually go into detail as to what you know, because he's just talking about that night. He's not even going into the detail as to just let's just listen. I'm looking for some more stuff, y'all.
But the verdict offered a semblance of justice. Yet, the pain was far from gone. The courtroom may have declared Makari guilty, but the emotional weight of the loss would remain with them forever. Her mother, especially, spoke out after the trial, her grief glaring. She described Charmaine as a beacon of hope, someone who had overcome countless obstacles in her life and had so much more to give to the world. She emphasized the need for the community to remember Charmaine not just as a victim, but as a human being with dreams, a future, and a heart full of love. The mother's words resonated deeply with those who had followed the case closely. It wasn't just about justice for Charmaine, it was about ensuring that her life and the lives of so many others like her weren't erased by the tragic events that had unfolded. Beyond the family, the local Gulfport community was shaken. Gulfport is a small city, and tragedies like this reverberate throughout its streets, affecting everyone. The news of the murder sent shockwaves through the LGBTQ+ community, who often face heightened risks when it comes to violence and discrimination. Local activists organized vigils, and people from all walks of life came together to honor Charmaine's memory. It was clear that this wasn't just a loss for one family. It was a loss for a whole community that had come to rely on the strength and resilience of people like Charmaine. This case brought to light a number of uncomfortable truths about the state of online dating, especially for marginalized groups like the transgender community. Charmaine McClam's tragic death was not just a story of violence, it was a stark reminder of the risks that transgender individuals face every day, even in the most seemingly harmless of situations, such as meeting someone on a dating app. Online dating has exploded in popularity over the past decade. It promises connection, companionship, and love in an increasingly digital world. But for transgender people, this world can be fraught with unique dangers. According to a study from the Williams Institute, more than 1 in 4 transgender individuals have reported experiencing some form of violence while dating, whether in person or online. The isolation and stigmatization of the transgender community leave them vulnerable, and many face discrimination even when they are open about their identities. Charmaine's family and activists have pointed out that while the legal system had its role to play, there needed to be a greater societal effort to protect transgender people, especially in spaces where they should feel safe, like in romantic relationships or even casual encounters. This case, they argue, is a tragic reminder that there is still much to be done when it comes to ensuring the safety and dignity of transgender individuals, both online and offline. How can we, as a society, better protect vulnerable communities from the dangers of online spaces? What steps can be taken to ensure that everyone, regardless of their gender identity, can feel safe when they go online to connect with others? What do you think needs to change when it comes to the safety of marginalized communities, particularly when dating online? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue the conversation. As the dust settles after the trial, one question remains. What lessons will we learn from Charmaine's story, and how can we prevent future tragedies from occurring? Can justice ever truly be served, or is there always something left behind when a life is taken so violently? It's a sad truth that violence against transgender people continues to be an ever-present and growing issue. While individual stories like Charmaine McClam's draw attention to this problem, they are not isolated cases. According to a 2023 report from the Human Rights Campaign, at least 40 transgender or gender nonconforming individuals were killed in the U.S. in 2022, and many others faced violent attacks, harassment, or threats. But numbers alone don't convey the
Well,
true gravity of the issue.
let me
Studies
stop
have
it
shown
so we can talk,
transgender
because I
people
don't want to just keep playing it. That's why they need to be honest, right? I agree, Natasha. There's nothing wrong with being trans, but give everyone, yeah. Cause see, the fact that the matter is, just like Fawn pointed out, in 2024, in this world that we live in now, transgender people are actually accepted by some people, even though there's some people out there that don't accept them. There's some that do. There's some men that actually prefer to date a transgender woman. It's just is what it is. It's just you have to, you know what I'm saying. And I think if that's the type of lifestyle you're gonna live, you have to gravitate or gears towards people that accept you and that want to be with you, for who you are and what you are. Like, don't impose on that. I hate to say impose, but that's what it is. If you, as a transgender woman, are communicating with this man, and you know that this man is into women, and you know that you're not that, then you just shouldn't engage. Women aren't always safe. No, they're not. Nobody's always safe with online dating. Baby, you can just when you meet somebody online, baby, look, you can create a whole person and it not be you, and just lie, 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 and actually think that you can enter a relationship with somebody starting off with lies. It's ridiculous. But yeah, yeah, it's amazing. But I can't find nothing like this story right here. Is basically the on other than like two or three short news clips from when it first happened. I can't. I'm trying to find the interrogation. I'm trying to find the trial, which I don't think it was an actual trial, because I think he pled guilty. But I'm just trying to find anything else that goes deeper than what this person is saying. But anywho, we got like about 7 more minutes.
are more than 4 times as likely to be victims of violent crime than their cisgender counterparts. These statistics reveal a stark reality. Transgender people face disproportionate risks, especially transgender women of color. The transgender community experiences physical violence, emotional abuse, and even murder, simply for existing in a society that often does not understand or accept them. Yet these numbers represent more than just statistics. They are lives lost, families shattered, and communities left to cope with grief. In 2022 alone, more than half of the transgender victims of violence were under the age of 30, suggesting that this violence disproportionately affects young individuals. Tragically, this violence is not only physical, it often includes mental and emotional abuse, with transgender individuals facing higher rates of suicide and mental health struggles due to discrimination and stigma. In the case of Charmaine McClam, we are reminded that while one life was lost, it is part of a broader pattern. Charmaine's murder didn't occur in a vacuum. It's a part of an ongoing epidemic of violence targeting the transgender community. And just like other victims of violence, Charmaine's life and identity deserve to be remembered and respected, not just as a statistic, but as a human being whose story could have been so much more. This brings us to an undeniable point. It's time for us, as a society, to take a hard look at what's happening and ask ourselves, what are we doing to protect vulnerable communities, especially the transgender community? Awareness alone isn't enough. Action is what will drive change. The tragic death of Charmaine McClam is a stark reminder that transgender people, particularly in the dating world, are at risk every day. Online dating apps, which are supposed to connect people, have become a dangerous place for many transgender individuals. In an ideal world, these platforms would be a space for connection, love, and support. But for transgender people, they often present a minefield of threats and risks. Misinformation, harassment, and the fear of rejection can make dating a traumatic experience. It's easy to look at a headline, watch a story, and feel a moment of sorrow. But the real change begins when we start to ask the tough questions. Are we doing enough to ensure that transgender individuals are safe when they meet someone online? Are we taking steps to educate others about the dangers of bias and
He
violence
keep
against
he keep
transgender
focusing
people?
on the transgenders and online dating and the dangers when it comes to transgenders. And the fact of the matter is, online dating is dangerous for anybody. Also, for everybody, right? So also he's focusing on the whole violence against transgenders, which I think is disgusting. He's speaking as though they are a target, which in some sense it could be, but he's just not talking about the importance. I have not heard him mention yet the importance of transgenders or anybody else that engages in online dating, to be honest, like to be upfront about who they are and what they are. And he keep repeating over and over again about, you know what I'm saying, how dangerous it is for the transgender and what they face. And it's all true. Like they do face these things, but it's still no excuse for anybody to lie about who they are and what they are, and specifically to a person that they know thinks that they're somebody else. Like the man thought she was a woman, you know, and it's just is what it is. And I just feel like, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. Let's finish this.
Are there enough legal protections in place to address this? It's not just the responsibility of the transgender community to fight for change. It's a collective effort.
Oh
Everyone has a
man.
role to play in stopping the violence. It begins with listening, learning, and
And
advocating for better systems to support these communities.
it also begins with them being honest. You have to put that out there. Like it also begins with them being honest with themselves and with others. Listen, there's no excuse for anybody to take anybody's life. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Like in finding out that, it's just no excuse. But everybody, each person has to take responsibility. Like it's the stories that are out there. This is just one of probably a million stories of whereas men find out that a transgender woman is not a woman, flip out, get mad, get angry, and unalive them. If you know this is happening, why do you take that risk? Why? If you know that transgenders are being targeted in that way, why do you take that risk? I don't get it. I don't get it because some men can't handle it, like honestly, and apparently he's one of them. And from the way they're describing him as far as the courts and how he behaved during the interrogation and things of that nature, he might have had a whole mental issue. He may have had a whole mental problem. See, that's why you can't be too careful. You know what I'm saying? Some men you cannot play with them like you just can't. You just can't. It's something about them because it don't only have to do with the fact that you are a man and he thought you was a woman, but it also has something to do with the fact that he feels some type of way by himself, like I was attracted to a woman. I mean not a woman, but a man. I wanted to be with a man. What's wrong with me? Like all type of stuff may go through their mind. They feel some type of way. It's like an ego type thing. You just can't take that chance with your life. You just can't. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Whether it's through legislation, education, or simply supporting victims, we all need to do our part to break the cycle of violence. Now let me ask you, the viewers, have you ever considered the risks that others might face when dating online, especially those who are marginalized? Do you think more should be done to protect vulnerable individuals in the dating world? Let us know yours in the comments below. Let's continue this conversation and push for meaningful change. As we reflect on the loss of Charmaine McClam, the question looms large. What will it take for society to truly protect its most vulnerable members? When will enough be enough? When will the violence end? And how many more lives must be lost for we to meaningful steps toward change? Throughout this story, we followed the tragic life and death of Charmaine McClam, a 27-year-old Black transgender woman whose life was cut short in a horrific act of violence. What started as an online connection, a moment of hope and possibility, quickly turned into a violent tragedy, leaving Charmaine's family in devastation. Her death is a stark reminder of the dangers that transgender individuals face, especially
Yeah, and
in the dating
that's
world.
another thing, Tanya.
But her
That's
story isn't
another thing. They they think about, okay, what if somebody find out, because they probably done told this person or that person, hey, this my woman, this whatever, and then people find out, and then yeah, it's shame, guilt, shame. It's just a whole lot. It's just a whole lot that you shouldn't even, to me, honestly, shouldn't take that chance for real. Right? Amazing, right?
just about the tragedy itself. It's about the systemic issues that make this violence possible. Charmaine's death is one in a long line of attacks against transgender people, particularly transgender women of color, who continue to face disproportionate levels of violence and discrimination. This case highlights a number of critical social issues: the lack of safety for transgender people online, the misunderstanding and stigma that they face in everyday life, and the urgent need for greater protections and awareness. But more importantly, it calls us to reflect on what we are doing or not doing as a society to prevent such tragedies. In the wake of Charmaine's death, it's important to remember that we can make a difference. This case, like so many others, is a call to action. If we are to see real change, we must first recognize the human cost of our inaction. Transgender people, like all people, deserve to live their lives free from fear, violence, and discrimination. They deserve safety in all spaces, online and offline, and they deserve to be seen, heard, and respected. One of the key steps we can take is advocating for safer online spaces. Online dating
See,
platforms,
the
social
way
media
he's
networks,
speaking
and
in
other
this, I see what his stance is. The way he's speaking in this video is he's geared more towards people that target, transgenders because they are transgender, and we do know that those people exist as well, right? Like what happened to Chingy. I don't know what happened to Chingy. Miss Ann, what happened to Chingy? But he's more veered towards transgenders being targeted because they are transgenders, right? So, and that happens, and it's sad. It really happens, and it, but this is not the case in this case, as far as we know. Like, it hasn't been said that this guy targeted her because of who she was. It gears more towards them communicating online, they hooking up, and he finding out that she's a woman. His career was ruined because people thought he was with a transgender. Mm.
other virtual spaces must be held accountable for the protection of all users, especially marginalized groups like transgender individuals. It's time to push for more robust measures, such as better verification processes, stricter reporting systems, and more inclusive policies that protect the most vulnerable users. Advocacy doesn't stop at online spaces. It extends to communities, workplaces, schools, and everywhere transgender people interact with society. We must actively challenge bias, educate ourselves about transgender issues, and support trans people in their right to live freely and safely. Now, as we wrap up Charmaine's story, I want to hear from you. Have you ever thought about the risks that transgender people face in dating or other social interactions?
Oh my
How can
God.
we as a society help create safer spaces for everyone? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you think this story needs to be heard, don't hesitate to hit that like button, subscribe to the
Okay, let's see.
channel, and share this
Ebooks,
video.
if you don't mind, drop that link one more time to that channel. Y'all can go check it out. I did that video was it just wasn't detailed enough for me, but okay. Um and like I said, I don't see anything else. Like it's sad. It's sad. It's another example of, um this is it should have been more. It should have been more. And like I said, it wasn't a trial. He pled guilty. I didn't expect to see that. Now, as far as the interrogation video, I could when I type those names in, it's just so little shows up. So that's all I can only go by what this guy has in his video. What is that? Let me see. That ain't it either. So yeah. So that's it. And that's all on that. Any questions in the chat? Fun you want? I am sick of money, but you know what? I need to call him and have a conversation. Um, Farmberry, you got anything to say? Anybody in the chat got any questions? If not, that's the story for today, y'all. That's the story for today. And I think what I got out of this whole thing is that people just need to be honest. I know, listen, it's online dating, there's all this different type stuff going on, but whenever however you meet a person in anticipation of sex or even a relationship, you got to be honest, you got to be upfront, um because you just don't know the mental state of people. And I think that this guy he may have had some pre-existing stuff going on or whatever. I don't know for sure. Farnberry probably gone, y'all. I think. Yeah, I think she's in her meeting. But anyway, anybody got any questions in the chat before we get off of here? Now I will be back. Today is Thursday. I may try to get in another live on this channel before next week, but if not, we will definitely be back Tuesday, and I'm gonna get into that whole Facebook unalive and or whatever. I'm gonna get into that on the next time we come back. Like I say, if it don't be this weekend, it will definitely be next Tuesday. Cause like I told y'all, I plan on start coming on this channel every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. We are living in an ever changing world, and honesty. Yes, man, you just gotta be upfront. You gotta be honest. You cannot do that. Like you cannot be a man. You can't be a man, well, you just can't. You just and then like Fawn pointed out, in any situation, whether it's a transgender woman, transgender man, it does not matter. Even in heterosexual relationships, bisexual relationships, whatever kind of relationship, people got to realize that you have to be upfront with people, because dishonesty can cause you your life, and it's not worth it. Because you can find someone who accepts you for you and who you are and how you choose to live. And that's who you should want to be with anyway. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Natasha. Or he found out and thought he could go through with it, but at the last minute changed his mind, leading to an argument causing this tragedy. Thank you, Renee, and you're right. It all type of scenarios, and at this point, we just don't know which one it was. I wish we did. Thanks, True, for letting me. Oh, you welcome, from Berry. In the meeting, these motherfuckers ain't talking about. I figured you was in your meet, girl. Calm down, Fawn Berry. Calm down. Anywho, y'all, 2 hours. Listen. I even stayed in within my time limit. I'm so proud of me. All right, so yeah, that's it for the day. I appreciate y'all supporting this live stream. I really, really do. Honestly, thank y'all so much. I'm happy to be back on this channel. Um, okay, so listen, if y'all come across a story that y'all want me to cover, please send it to my email. Don't tell me about it because I'm gonna forget. I mean, you could. I'm gonna forget y'all. So, like I said, I want y'all to stay interested. So, if y'all have a story that y'all want to talk about, y'all want me to talk about, want me to cover, please email it to me at my email address, okay? And we can talk about it.
Whoo, Truth, I'm back. Okay.
Girl, we finna go.
Damn.
While you over there rustling and tussling with your people.
These motherfuckers. Woo!
Women don't seem to be bothered or as offensive about females changing genders. I ain't offensive about no whatever however somebody choose to live. That's their life. I cannot be offensive about somebody else and how they choose to live. Long as you ain't all up in my space. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what people gotta stop. People gotta stop being concerned about how other people live their lives.
Mm-hmm.
To the point to where they want to become violent or things of that nature. It's ridiculous. For these people out here that's targeting transgender women and being evil, mean, and even unaliving them. That's stupid.
Yeah,
That's
as
that's
long as they're
evil.
not harming you or it's not affecting your life, I mean,
Right. That what they who it's like this. Who are we to be concerned about who somebody decides to sleep with? That's not our problem. You worry about who you sleeping with. And
mm-hmm,
who the person that you sleeping with. That's as far as it need to go.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? Out here trying to judge people because no, I ain't with that. I accept anybody. Anybody.
mm-hmm. As long as you respect me, hey,
And
I'm
that's
good.
right. That's right. That's right. I mean the way men are about other men trying to I'm so confused.
The way men and other men.
I don't, women don't seem to be as about females changing genders. I mean the way men. Oh, I get
Maybe
what
she
you're saying.
means
I
that.
get what you're saying. Women are
Yeah.
more prone to accept transgenders than men. We women are more accepting, and we are. We
Mm.
are. Mhm.
But I mean, if you're truly, confident in yourself, your sexuality or whatever, it shouldn't bother you.
Sometimes I ain't gonna even lie. Sometimes I think straight men are actually intimidated by gay men or transgenders.
I don't know what it is, but
It's like some men they do too much, and it's be like you be looking at them like, what's your problem? Like, what's your issue? Like, I get it, you're not that way, okay? You not that way, but why do you got to get so angry, so upset, and go to talking all crazy about
right.
somebody else and the way they choose to live their life? Are you questioning yourself? I mean, what is it?
Mm-hmm. Are you
I'm
insecure about yourself about something? What is it? I mean,
Yeah, it's like you fear that maybe, just maybe, you may like that person. Like it's crazy. It's weird to me. Hey, Greg. I know you, Bruce, because sometimes when y'all type in that chat, bro, I ain't gonna lie, it be confusing sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. I don't get it all the time. That's why I said, huh? But anyway, we're gonna get off here, y'all, because I got a live schedule for 5 o'clock. So I do plan on coming back. So I'm gonna get off of here and do my afternoon stuff, and then I'll be back later. I appreciate y'all joining me. Fun. Thank you so much for hitting the link. I appreciate it. And I
thank you.
appreciate those of you all in the chat. Y'all have a blessed, beautiful day. I will be back at 5 over on the T channel around yonder, and I will be back on this channel, if not before, on Tuesday. Okay, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Fine, have a good day at work, sweetie.
Oh, you do the
Um,
same.
and yeah, we out of here till next time. True Sipper. Thank y'all for supporting this channel. I can't say that enough. I can't say it enough. With that being said, True Sippers and Stay Gang, stand up. And until next time, we out. I see y'all later. Love y'all.
Peace out.
Peace out.